Have you ever heard scratching inside your walls and told yourself it's just mice? What if I told you, sometimes it's not. This really happened to a family in Massachusetts in 1986. And it didn't end with a happy ending. It ended with a killer hiding in the walls of their house. It started with two sisters, Annie and Jessica Andrews, living with their father in a quiet suburban home in Pepperell, Massachusetts. Their mother had passed away just months earlier. They were grieving, vulnerable, and then they met Danny. He was a teenager they talked to over the phone, a voice full of charm and sympathy. He said he went to a nearby school, said he lost his mother too. After a few calls, Annie agreed to meet him. But when he showed up, something felt wrong. He wasn't what he claimed to be. Instead of a clean-cut teen, Daniel LaPlante was disheveled, dirty, and off. He smelled like he hadn't bathed. Annie was disturbed and ended the date early. But then, strange things started happening around their home. Furniture moved. Objects disappeared, whispering when no one else was around. They chalked it up to grief or imagination. They were wrong. One night, the girls were alone in the house. They heard a knock on the wall from inside the house. Then another, and another. They searched, nothing. But it didn't stop. They heard whispering, voices calling their names. One evening, they found a message written on the wall and something read, "I'm in your room. Come find me." The girls fled the house screaming. Their father believed it was a prank. But days later, while investigating the noise in the walls himself, he discovered something terrifying. A crawl space behind a built-in cabinet. Inside was Daniel LaPlante. He had been living in the walls. He had carved peepholes to watch the girls. He moved silently at night, wore their dead mother's clothes, left messages written in lipstick and ketchup. And he wasn't finished. LaPlante was arrested and held, but the terror wasn't over. Just a year later, after being released on bail, Daniel LaPlante broke into a home nearby and murdered a pregnant woman and her two children. He drowned the children in the bathtub. He showed no remorse. He was finally sentenced to life in prison. But the horror of what he did, watching, hiding, manipulating, left a scar on every victim's family and on the town itself. They say monsters aren't real, but Daniel LaPlante was. And he wasn't a ghost. He was a boy in the walls, breathing the same air as his victims, watching them in silence, waiting. So if you hear scratching at night or whisper through your walls, check the crawl space. Or don't. Because sometimes what's behind the wall is worse than what's in your dreams.